morning, guys. So today we have another chit chat get ready with me videos. I see you guys do not want me to stop doing my chit chat get ready with me's, so here we go. Okay, so first I am going to start off by moisturizing my face. This is the Eucerin Professional Repair Lotion, and you guys know I always use this, and especially right now because the weather is changing and my face is so dry. So I am sick right now. My kids are sick because it's hot in the daytime, and then at night it gets cold, so we fall asleep with the ceiling fans on and the fans on, and we woke up sick. So yeah, that is our current situation right now. Okay, so today's Get Ready With Me, we are going to talk about how I met my kid's father. So this is only going to be for one baby daddy. Another chit chat with me would be for the other one, because you know I only got 2 kids. I have 2 baby daddies, and one of them, well, Sunday's dad, we were engaged once upon a time. But with Shania's dad, we weren't engaged. We was just shacking up. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Shania's dad. And then the next story time will probably be about Sunday's dad. And my whole life, I only been in 3 relationships. And it was Shania's dad, somebody else I was with for about 2 years, and then Sunday's dad. Okay, so I am going to trying to see what foundation I want to use today. No, first I'm going to prime my face, and I am going to use, where is that, you know what, I'm going to use this Baby Skin by Maybelline, because my skin is dry and I want to use an ointment instead of a cream. So I'm just going to apply this to my face. So, this was about 1999 when I met Shania's dad. And how I met him was I was getting off of work, because, you know, in one of my old Chit Chat Get Ready With Me videos, I told you how when I had a summer job and I was working at Burger King. So at this point I was getting off of my summer job. So I was sitting at the bus stop waiting on the bus to pick me up to go home, for me to go home and get ready for my second job, which was at Burger King. So I'm sitting at the bus stop, minding my own business, waiting on this damn bus, and I was the only one at the bus stop. And a guy pulls over in like this work truck and pulls up to me and was like, "Oh, sorry, I thought you was somebody that I knew." And he was like, I was like, "No, I'm not that person." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry I pulled up on you, but do you need a ride?" And I was like, "Yeah, don't judge me." Yes, I did. I jumped in the car with a stranger. He was nice looking. And hold on. He was nice looking. A sister was single at the time, had 4 kids. And yes, I jumped in the car with this man, and he took me home. So, the foundation that I am going to use today is, I'm going to use my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Mattes. I'm going to shake it up. Last time I used it, it started squirting out water first, like those damn LA Pro concealers. So let me shake it up. So he dropped me off at home. Yes, I made it home safely to my 4 kids, my siblings. And he dropped me off, and he asked me for my number. I gave him my number. When he got off work, he called me. And we talked and we talked. We talked for like a couple of months. Just talking on the phone. Well, I want to say we was talking on the phone for a couple of months, but like a week after he gave me that ride, I was working my second job at Burger King, and it was inside of a mall. So I was talking to him the night before, and he was asking me where my other job was and what time I got off, because he wanted to take me out on a date and stuff like that. So I told him what time I got off, and I got off work, and he was sitting outside waiting for me. And he was like, I'm just here to catch the bus home with you and make sure that you get home safe. So that in itself just showed me that he really did like me, and that was just like so nice and so kind, and it made me feel special, you know, because I felt like I really couldn't get nobody, because, you know, I had 4 kids, and, you know, I was working 2 jobs, and, you know, it was kind of hard, you know, because I didn't think anybody would want to talk to anybody with 4 kids, even though they wasn't my kids. But you know, they don't want to be responsible for nobody else's kids. So we rode the bus, and he got off at my stop, and he walked me home, and we sat outside and talked on my stairs for a little while. And he was like, well, I'm about to go home. So he walked home. He stayed, I want to say probably like 15 miles from me. So that wasn't his car that he was in when he picked me up. That was his work truck. So he didn't have a car. I didn't have a car. So he walked home. So, you know, we was talking on the phone. He asked me if I wanted to go out on a date. We went out on a date. We went to the movies. He came, caught the bus, picked me up. What? Well, I can't say pick me up because he was walking, and we caught the bus to the movies. And his uncle came and picked us up after the movie, so the uncle dropped me off. So we went on a couple of dates after that, and then I want to say when I met him, when I was at the bus stop, that was, I think I want to say October. Make sure this is clear so y'all can see me. Okay, so I'm thinking it's October. So, you know, we used to talk on the phone. You know, I used to work all these hours to try to afford my brothers and sisters some Christmas presents. So, you know, when we talk on the phone, I told him that I didn't have any money to buy myself anything, because I spent all my money getting my brothers and sisters some Christmas presents. So the next day, after we had this conversation, he came up to my job on his lunch break and gave me $475. And he was like, this is for you. Just go get you something nice. And on Christmas, I want to be able to spend it with you and the children. And just make sure you get you something nice. I don't want anything. Just spend this money on you. That has never, ever, ever, ever happened to me before. So I was like, oh, this one is a keeper. This one right here is a keeper, because I felt like with man, he barely even knew me. We talked on the phone. We went on about 2 or 3 dates, but we didn't spend the night with each other. You know, I couldn't really stay out late because after the movies, I went straight home. So, you know, we really couldn't do anything, and I felt like for him not to know me that well and to just open his heart up and his wallet up to give me something like that, I felt like really, really special. So after that, I told him that let's just you know, talk and just see what happens, you know, because I wasn't messing with anybody. I'm not sure at the time he claimed he wasn't messing with anybody, so we got together. Or did, yeah, we got together at that point. Yeah, we was together because me and him was on and off for like 6 years. So we got together. So I already did my eyebrows off camera. I'm going to go ahead and apply some primer. This is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. Haven't used this in a while, so I'm going to use it today. So yeah, so we got together and it was just wonderful for 6 months. He came over that Christmas and spent the night Christmas Eve, and he woke up with us, and me and the kids was opening presents, and it was like really nice. So I cooked dinner and we sat there and had a couple of drinks and was talking. It was nice to have company, you know, and we just really enjoyed ourselves. I think later on that day on Christmas, P was at the house watching his kids for the probably like the tail end of the day, but me, him, and Wednesday was, you know, making stops at everybody's house, visiting. I'm introducing everybody to him as my boyfriend, and you know, we was just chilling, having fun. So it was like really good for like the first 6 months. But you know, in my other Chit Chat Get Ready With Me videos, as I was talking about me being homeless with my siblings, at one point in time I did move out, left P the apartment with the kids, and I went and got me an apartment. Well, actually it wasn't an apartment, it was like, it was an apartment in the back of an older lady's house. I rented out the back part of her house, and it was just a 1-bedroom. It was like super small, but it was enough room for me. It was a 1-bedroom. I mean, this place was super small, but it was affordable, and that's where I stayed. So stuff started going downhill when I moved to this apartment. Never asked him to move in because I think at this time he was staying with his, I want to say his aunt and uncle. So let me get on with the eyeshadow. I am going to use, this is going to be a simple look. I'm using my Morphe 350 matte palette, and I'm going to take this color right here, and I'm going to go ahead and place that into the crease, and I'm also going to place that into the lid. So I am using some new brushes from BH Cosmetics. I just purchased these. My babies did a review on my BH Cosmetics brushes, so I will link that video down below. So check them out and support my little divas. Okay, so I'm going to take this first brush from BH Cosmetics, which is a 101. No, I'm moving ahead of myself. I'm going to go ahead and base my eye with this LA Color Jumbo Eye Pencil. So like I was saying, everything started going downhill after I moved into this place. We were still talking on the phone, but one day he was like, I gotta tell you something. He called me, he was like, I gotta tell you something. And I was like, okay, well, I get off work at this time, and you could come over to the house and we could talk. So at this time, I'm not working at Burger King no more. I am working for the county, so I only had this one job. So he was like, well, I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna talk to you. So he called, he was like, all right, I'm on my way. So, you know, I'm waiting on him, and he comes, he comes, knock on the door, and I open the door, and he has a baby with him, a brand new newborn freaking baby. So I'm thinking to myself, what the frick is going on? So he comes in with the baby. We sitting in the living room, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this? And he was like, this is my baby. I mean, the baby was brand new. The baby wasn't no older than a month. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so you've been messing around? And he was like, this was before you. And she told me that I had this baby. And the baby, like, Shania's dad is real light skinned. And I don't think this primer is gonna work. I mean, this base, it's like kind of streaky. So let me see. Use a different brush, a thicker one. So he was like, this was before you, and I didn't know she was pregnant. And she called me one day and told me that she was in labor. And I went up to the hospital, and here's the baby. And like I was saying, Shania's dad is real light skinned, and at this time he had long hair, you know, very nice looking man. And to me, the baby was light skinned. It had a good braided hair, but didn't look like him. But you know, he claiming the baby, so what am I to say, you know? So I just couldn't, at this point I'm just like, okay, I don't know if I want to be in no relationship now, you know, since you have this brand new baby, and you know you're gonna focus on the mom and the baby now, and that's not what I signed up for. That's not what I thought this relationship was gonna be like. So you know, we still talked on the phone, but we hung out, we still went out to eat, but it just wasn't the same. So I was like really hurt. So at this time, I'm just, you know, still doing me. At the time I was working for the county, I was working for the midnight. So I would get off work and go out to the club, me and my mama. Because the story about my mom, or my play mom, you guys know my mom has passed away. When I was at the county, I met Janice, and that is the woman I did a couple of makeup tutorials on, and I told you guys that this is my mom, and somebody commented and was like, oh, I thought your mom was dead. But she's just my play mom. Well, she's my godmom, and I met her at the county, and she's been my friend since, I want to say we've been friends for 16 years. She's like my best friend, but I don't consider her as a friend. I consider her as my mom, because she, you know, older lady, and you know, when I'm going through something, she's right there, and I love her to death. So she's like #1 in my book. So we used to go out every night. Well, not every night. Well, it was this one club. They was open like every night because they just like opened up. So they was trying to make them some money. So they was damn near open every night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. Saturdays would be super cracking though. Fridays and Saturdays. But the other couple of times, it was just a place to go hang out and have a drink after work. Okay, so I'm going to place this same color out of the 350 matte palette, and I'm going to place this on the lid. I'm going to pack it on the lid with the eyeshadow brush. So I was just like really hurt. So I kind of just tried to get my mind off of it and go and chill and have fun and not even think about it, you know. So I moved from that little spot that I was in and got a bigger apartment, a 2-bedroom. And, you know, me and Shania's dad was still talking, but I was talking to other people on the phone. You know, stuff like that. Didn't have a boyfriend. I'm just, you know, just doing me. So I moved to this apartment. Shania's dad calls me up one day and was like, "You want to go to the mall? My little cousins want to go to the mall." I was like, "Sure, we go to the mall." So at this time, he purchased a car. So he came and picked me up in his car. We go to the mall. And I'm just finding a bigger brush to blend these edges out at the top. So we go to the mall. So as we're leaving the mall, the security guard stops us and was like, "Y'all need to go with me." So I'm like, what the hell is going on? So one of his little cousins stole a ring from one of these accessory shops. Oh, I'm just taking MAC Uninterrupted and I'm blending the edges out. So I'm like, what the hell? So she stole the ring. So we go and have to go and explain what the hell's going on. And we like, "You stole something?" And she was like, "Yeah." She took it out of her pocket, gave it back to the people, and we leave because they let us leave. They didn't take anybody to jail. And we go back to his house, all of us, and her parents is like, "You got my daughter stealing," and woo 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 to him. And I'm trying to explain to him like he didn't know nothing about it. She was stealing on her own. I think she was 14 to 15, something like that. And, you know, I'm trying to explain to them that she did that on her own. And they was like, "Well, you should have been watching her carefully," and all this stuff. So they told him he had to leave. So I let him come stay with me. And remind you, we're not in a relationship. We just like friends. So we just like friends. So I told him he could come stay with me for a while until we get on his feet and try to find him somewhere to go. So we stayed together. We shacking up, you know, still not together, but we kicking it, shacking. So everything is all good, and then, you know, the arguing started to come and the disagreements started to come, and everything wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. You know, this is my first time living with a man, and I was just like, you know, I just wanted it to work. So, you know, I kind of stayed even though it really wasn't working. He was like, "Oh, I'm about to go pick up my daughter and be gone for 3 hours," and, you know, bullshit. So, you know, I'm just like focused on myself, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just about to get my shit together. I'm about to do my thing. I'm about to focus on me, and I ain't about to be worrying about no other female and they kids and you and other females. I'm just not about to do that because I'm still young. I'm not bad looking. I got a decent job, and I don't deserve anything like this. So I'm going to take Dan's Blame It on Midnight and place this under my eyebrows. So I still let him stay with me even though I was feeling some type of way. And then at this time, I'm thinking to myself, you know, kind of feeling uncomfortable because, you know, he'll bring the baby over. She'll stay for the weekend. But I'm thinking, like, we living together and I don't have no kids. At this time, I didn't have my siblings. They was with P. And I'm just like, we was talking about having a baby. So he really didn't want one because he, you know, had one already. So, you know, every time we would go out to eat, you know, and he bring the baby, or we go out to eat and I see other people with babies, I kind of felt a certain kind of way. Like, I want my own, you know. I done raised all these kids all these years, and it's about time that, you know, I have my own, you know. So at this time it didn't work. So, you know, at this time I'm going through my transition from jobs and going to get my stuff together to become a correctional officer. And, you know, I had to leave and go to the academy for 4 months. So I left my apartment, left it to him. He was working at the time. He wasn't giving me the whole full amount of rent that he owed me. He'd just give me stuff here and there. You know how they do. But I wanted half. You know, I think my rent was like $750. So motherfucker break me off like $475, something. You know, I'll pay the bills. Just bring your part of the rent. So he did that for a couple of months, and then he lost his job. So you know how that goes. So now I'm sitting here with this man, and he ain't got no job. So I'm still doing me. So I'm like, whatever. I'm about to go to the academy. I'm going to leave you checks for the rent for the month. All you got to do, walk him to the office, pay the rent. He did that for like a couple of months. So I went to the academy, did all this stuff. When I graduated, he drove out there, him and Wednesday, watched me graduate. We drove back. I was like super happy because I did it. And it was like really, really nice. I was just really proud of myself that I made it through the academy, because I just didn't think I was going to make it, because that exercise was not on my side. So 1 month, no, wait, I was at the academy. Was I at the academy? I think I came back from the academy and I started working at a prison. And I think I told him to walk the check to the office, because I had to leave like at 3:45 in the morning to catch the van pool to be at work at 6. I did this for like 2 years, and that just was like nerve-wracking. So that day, he didn't go and take the check to the office. So this was the last day. I think we had to the 3rd to pay the rent. So I get a notice on the door talking about you have 30 days to move. So it wasn't, or if you don't move within 30 days, it'll become an eviction. So now I got to leave my place and move, because you couldn't take your ass 45 feet to walk a check to the office. So I'm pissed. So I'm like, now I gotta move. 3 days later, P calls me talking about, me and the kids don't have a place to stay. So I'm like, all this shit is just falling on me at one time. And I'm part-time at my job. I'm not even full-time. I'm part-time, so I'm on call. So they could call me at any time, at any shift. If I want to make some money, if I want to work and get my hours, I have to answer the phone and I have to go to work. I can't just take all these days off and I just start the job even though I'm part-time. And at that time, I think I was making a decent amount of change, but not that much, especially being on call, because sometimes they had positions and sometimes they didn't. So now I got to save up some money to move, still pay my bills, still pay my car note, and I'm just like, this is just too much. And he couldn't even, he just wasn't even sincere about me having to do all this stuff. And I'm just like, I'm gonna need some help, you know. But I had to do all this stuff on my own. So I was just like, this is some big BS. So I found a house, a big house for me and the kids and him and P. So we moved to this house. It's kind of closer to my job, not too close, probably like 45 minutes away from where I was staying, so my drive was a little shorter. So we move into this house. He ends up finding a job, and with this job he traveled. So he was gone like a week, come home for a week, be gone for a week, come home for a week. And I actually found the job for him. I called it. I was going through some papers, some newspapers, and I was like, well, call this job. So he called it, ended up getting the job. some electrician work. I think it wasn't with the union, but it was that type of work. So the rent that I was paying at that big old house, it was a big 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, and the rent was $1,500. So I asked P for $5 because he was getting aid for the kids. I asked Shania's dad for $5, and then I would pay $5. So that was $1,500. So that gave me enough money to pay bills and do all that stuff because I was on call. So, you know, everything's all right. You know, at this time, I think it was like 3 months after we were staying at the house, I found out I was pregnant. So we had been trying for like that year, and I told him I was pregnant. I think I was like 3 months when I found out, and he was like super happy, and we both was happy, and the kids was happy. And you know, I was about to have my first baby. I was just like super stoked, even though I was sick as hell with Shania. I wasn't throwing up, but I was nauseous like every morning. So I let my job know that I was pregnant. They couldn't give me a light duty spot because I was on call, and there was other pies or part-time employees, so they couldn't put me on the schedule because it wouldn't be fair to the other officers. So luckily I was real cool with one of the supervisors there at work. He worked in the area where they do all the hiring, and he called me every day to come to work from 10 at night to 6 in the morning. So I was working first watch, and I was still working inside of the institution, you know, on the yard, around the inmates. But it was hard because I couldn't fit my belt. So as soon as I walk in, I know my partners was like, damn, we got the pregnant girl tonight. I know she ain't gonna do nothing. But as soon as I walk in, I tell them, I'll be like, look, if something go down, we all running because I'm not doing nothing. I'm not about to jeopardize my baby because I'm on call. So I'm just letting you know now. Okay, let me go on with this. I'm going to take this pigment right here. This is from MAC. This is called Copper Sparkle. I'm going to place this in the inner. No, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and line my waterline first. I'm going to take this pencil by ColourPop. It's called Teaspoon. I'm going to line my waterline, and I'm going to also place it on the lower lash line. So let me go ahead and scoot this camera up a little. So yeah, enough about that. So I'm pregnant, and at this time I'm just going all over the place. I'm skipping parts. So at this time I'm probably like 6 months pregnant, and I get up, go to work. I'm driving to the van pool, and I come home, and Shania's dad was like, you cheating on me? And I was like, cheating? And he was like, and I was like, no, I ain't cheating. And he was like, well, you left your phone here, and somebody left a message talking about they miss you and they ain't seen you, and they want to see you. So remind you, I done had this phone for years, and me and him been on and off for like, I want to say at this time it's like 2-3 years. So come to find out, somebody that I used to talk to on the phone called and left a message, and I don't know how he got my code or you know what the hell was going on, but I was like, I ain't cheating on you. And he was like, well, I'm tired of this crap, and you know, making all these excuses and arguing for the next week. And then he left and went to work, and I think he was gone for a whole week. Came back from work and was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to be by myself, and I don't know if I'm ready. I was like, ready for what? You don't think you're ready for this baby coming, or like, what are you telling me? So he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna move, and I'm gonna go live with my grandmother. So remind you, he paying 1/3 of the rent. So I'm like, So you just gonna leave me and the kids out to dry? I'm not gonna be able to live here if you can't help me with your part of the rent. He was like, well, you just gonna have to figure it out. And I'm just like sad at the same time, but mad at the same time. So he moves out. I can't live here anymore. I can't take care of the kids. I called my sister, told her my situation, and asked her if she could keep the kids. Let me get some. Okay, so I'm going to take my MAC palette. I'm going to take 2 greens. I'm going to take this matte green that's called Newly Minted. And I'm also going to take this green's called One Off, and this one got a little bit of shimmer in it. So my sister get the kids. He did help me move furniture and all that stuff, but he didn't stay. So I moved with my mom, which is Janice, you know, the lady I call my mom. Matter of fact, I haven't talked to her in years. I just called her out the blue one day, and I was like, I don't got nowhere to go. I'm pregnant. I need somewhere to live. And she was like, well, you could come stay with me. So I sent the babies, my kids, my siblings, to my sister. P went to go find him some place to go, and I moved. He wasn't even worried about if I had a freaking place to go, pregnant with his baby, you know. And I moved in with Janice, and you know, I didn't have to pay her. I paid her, I think, like $200 in rent, and I was like real stressed out and like depressed, like when I was like 7 months with Shania. Now I'm gonna apply the shimmery one on top of this one. So I stayed there with Janice, still talking to him on the phone every now and then. It wasn't like he was calling to check up on me all the damn time. So coming to find out, he was talking to somebody, and that's what brought this whole argument. Tried to make it seem like I was the one cheating. And how I'm cheating? I'm on call. I'm working first watch. I sleep during the day, go to work at night, and have 4 kids. Like, when do I have any free time to go anywhere? And I'm pregnant and sick. Come on. So he called every now and then, like really didn't give a shit, you know. And you know, that hurt me, but you know, I just tried to stay healthy and not stress out too much with being pregnant, and this was my first baby. So I took off work when I was like, I damn near worked to the end. I think I was like I want to say 8 months when I took off of work with on my maternity leave. And March 31st, I called him, and he was like, I called him, I said, I think I'm gonna have this baby tonight. And he was like, well, I already got a trip planned. I'm going to his country to see my mom, because I haven't seen my mom since I was 2. I was like, but what about the baby? And he was like, well, I already bought my ticket, and I can't cancel my ticket, and me and my grandmother is going. We're both going, so I can't do nothing about it. So sure enough, after I got off the phone with him, because I was feeling like cramps and stuff like that, but I didn't know how it felt to go into labor. So I knew something was wrong, because I shouldn't be feeling like period cramps pregnant, because I haven't had a period in so long. So I was like, well, I think I'm gonna have this baby tonight. And he still left. So I did go into labor that night. It was March 31st. I remember it clearly. No, was it March 31st? March 30th. Yes, March 30th. And I was in labor at the house for at least 4 days, because I didn't have Shania till April 3rd. So I'm going through all these labor pains by myself. It's just me and my mom because I'm living with her. She took me back and forth to the doctor. I mean, we went back to Kaiser at least 5 times. So after the 4th time, the first time after we went to the doctor, I was just like, well, let me try to walk to see if I'm going to dilate some more. So I got up like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. We'll walk around the neighborhood. Every time I have contraction, I take a rest on a tree, have the contraction, start walking again, and I did that for like 2 hours. Then the second day, I just dealt with the contractions. We went to the doctor twice that day. Oh, you're only dilated to 1 centimeter. You're only dilated to 1 centimeter. You're only dilated to 1 centimeter. So after the 4th time we went to the hospital, I came back home. They sent me home again. They gave me something talking about this is going to stop the pain. And it didn't work. It was like a pill or something like that. So I came home after the 4th time, and I was taking a shower and my mucus plug fell out. So I'm like, yes, they're going to keep me now. So we go back to the hospital, and they kept me. And I was super, super happy because then that's when I got the epidural, which is the best thing they could have ever made for a woman. And I got some sleep. And that's all I wanted to do was get some sleep. And I was kind of feeling a certain type of way because Shania's dad wasn't going to be there for the birth of his first baby, or, you know, his baby, not his first at the time. But I was happy it was about to be over with. So I'm going to take this pigment. I'm going to put it on the inner tear duct. Hopefully I don't have no fallout. No, it's not that bad. So, yeah, I went into labor, you know, doing my whole little thing. And, you know, I was feeling a certain type of way, you know, stressed out because her daddy ain't there for the delivery. But I'm glad I had somebody there. So you see why I love that lady to death. Because, I mean, that 5th time after the mucus plug fell out, she started crying to the nurses. And it was like, my baby is sick, tired. You know, she can't sleep. Could you please keep her? And they kept me. Yes, they did. So, had Shania on the 3rd, and he didn't see her until she was like a week old. He came back, I called him, and the whole time he out there in his hometown, his home country, he didn't call. He called, I think, about twice. He was gone for, I think, 2-3 weeks. No, he was gone for a week. But, you know, didn't call, so I guess he was out there having the time of his life, you know, got to see his mom at, you know, because he haven't seen her since he was 2, because he's been living with his grandma since he was 2. But I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if I should be like, well, he ain't seen his mom, but he should have been here for his daughter. You know, he should have been here for the birth of his daughter. I just have mixed feelings about all of that. So, he seen her when she was about a week, and he was happy. And after that, I couldn't keep him away from that baby. Coming to find out that the other baby wasn't even his, so my baby was his only child. So after all this time, we taking care of this baby, I'm buying her clothes and all this shit. And it wasn't even his damn kid. Even the grandma and the aunties, you know, his whole family, you know, treating this baby like it was his, and she wasn't even his. But I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my eyeliner on, lashes, probably some mascara, and I'll be coming back to highlight and contour like the usual. So, okay, so I added my lashes, some mascara to the lower lash line, and my contacts, and these are in the color Honey. The brand is Hollywood Luxury Colored Lenses. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight. I'm going to use my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC45. I'm going to apply it with this foundation brush. And yeah, like I was saying, Shania's dad is a good dad. After he seen her, it was over with. So I was still working part-time. No, at this time I'm full-time. He is in a relationship with someone, and I'm still living with Janice. He had Shania all the time. His grandma watched her while I went to work. She was my babysitter all the way up till Shania was 7 months, and they love her to death, and they still love her to death. And she was the first grandbaby for years. So like I said, he is a great dad. I cannot ever say anything bad about him. He just wasn't a good man to me, but he's a good dad. So at this time he's with somebody. Shania's around 7 months at this time, and I'm also seeing somebody, but I'm living with my play mom still at the time. I stayed with her like a whole year. She helped me a lot with Shania. Her dad, his grandma, helped me out a lot with her. I was talking to someone, Shania's dad was talking to someone. One day he called me and he was like, oh, this is the best we ever got along after the whole situation with him not being there for the birth and all this stuff. So we used to talk as friends, you know. He'd tell me about his little girlfriend, and I'd tell him about my little situation, and he wasn't tripping that I had a man, because he had a woman. I'm gonna blend it out with this beauty blender, or this Real Technique sponge. So he told me one day, he called me one day and was like, yeah, I got an apartment, and me and my girl gonna move together with her 3 kids. And I'm thinking to myself, how you gonna move into an apartment with somebody with 3 kids, and me and your baby is living with someone? Even though we wasn't together, I'm thinking to myself, how are you gonna take care of somebody else's kids when I have your child? So that pissed me off. So I was really, really mad at this point, and that kind of changed our friendship, because I felt like his daughter should have been first priority, not somebody else's kids. Move me out of this lady's house, well, my mama's house, instead of being with somebody else and moving them in. What about us? You know, even though I was with somebody, my whole thing was, what about your daughter? So I guess I just was like, whatever. So I don't think the girl ever moved in, because he didn't stay there too long. I think he stayed there for about 3 months. So I think she was supposed to pay a portion of the rent. She never moved in, so he had to go. I need to wet my beauty blender. I'll be right back. So at this point, I'm just thinking to myself, how you gonna take care of somebody else and not worry about your daughter having her own roof over her head, but you worry about the next motherfucker having a roof over their head? So I didn't even sweat it. I just was like, okay, well, if you're gonna have my daughter around another person, just let me meet him. you know, so I can see where their head is at and what's going on. So he really didn't trip with me having someone. He never said that he wanted to meet him. So at this time, Shania was, I want to say 7 months is when I actually got with someone, because I was still trying to work it out with Shania's dad to see if he wanted to, you know, beat it back together and work things out, but that didn't happen. So I was with somebody else. I'm going to set my concealer with Sasha Buttercup. So I was with someone. He moved me out of Janet's house. That's another story time. He moved me out of Janet's house. Shania was 7 months. You know, good man. Treated me really good. And, you know, to help me move and do all that stuff, I really was appreciative of him. So he moved me out. Me and him was together until Shania was almost 3. We stopped talking for a reason, and I will tell y'all that in another story. A chit chat, get ready with me. And after me and my other relationship broke up, me and Shania's dad was still talk, and we came to a conclusion that he found a job, matter of fact, and he found a job, and the job, he was gone 6 months out of the year, and not 6 months, 9 months. In the 9 months, sometimes he'll come home for a week, maybe a couple of days, and then he'll be off for 3 months. So I told him, instead of him getting an apartment and spending that money on rent, just move in with me and we could sit up here and raise our daughter together. And he wouldn't have to pay rent. Just give me the money for the rent. Especially if he was only going to be home for 3 months. So that's what we did for 4 freaking years. In the beginning, it was super cool, you know, because when he was off, didn't have to worry about Shania being picked up, because, you know, that kindergarten, preschool crap with the half-day bull crap, it was kind of hard for me to do, you know, being a working mom. And it helped a lot because, you know, he would pick her up from school, and I would drop her off at school in the morning. He'd pick her up. Whew. Sorry guys, I'm sick. So we did that for 4 years, and I felt that that was best for my child, to see her and her dad, both parents in the household. That was my main concern, is my daughter seeing both parents in the household. Okay, I'm going to use my midnight powder. This is sienna and chestnut mixed together. And I'm going to go ahead and use my large Morphe powder brush, and this setting powder is setting a little too much. So I did that for 4 years, and I thought that would be beneficial for my daughter. It also kind of helped me out, but after a while, the shit got old. That's plain and simple. It just got old, because now I'm not really could be in a relationship. You know, I date people and then tell them my situation and be like, well, my baby daddy lived here for 3 months and he's gone for 9 months, and yeah, deal with it. You know, but I think it messed up like 2 of my relationships that I was trying to have. You know, first they'd be cool with, you know, me raising my daughter in the same household as her dad. But then after the feelings start kicking in, they be like, well, when you gonna put that nigga out? Or when he gonna leave? La 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 la. So, you know, it was beginning to be too much. And after a while, me and Shania's dad wasn't getting along. He has a real bad attitude problem, and if it ain't his way, it's no way, and you know how it goes. So I just got fed up. And one day, or a couple of times, I just told him, you know what, this is not working out. You need to go find you some place to go. Go back to your grandma's house, or, you know, this is not working. And he just ignored what the hell I was saying. So I was like, well, this time when you go to work, you need to take your stuff to your grandma's house before you go, because I'm not going to be here. I'm going to leave. And I think that I did that for at least every 3 months. I told him that. And then one time I just was not playing, and I told him. He didn't listen, and he went to work and was gone for like, I think, a month. I called him, told him, look, I'm moving, and he thought I was playing. So when he came back, I moved. When he came back, the whole house was empty. Wasn't nothing but his stuff in the house. I told him to come get his stuff. I don't know why he thought I was playing, but his sister was not playing. I am going to contour with my Sleek Face Contour Kit. I'm going to use this brush by BH Cosmetics, number 125. And, you know, I just got up and moved. I just was tired. I was really tired. But I can say that Shania's dad is a real good daddy. I mean, I couldn't even ask for nothing more. I really couldn't, because he's a good daddy. He just wasn't a good man to me, you know. So I love him to death for being a good daddy to our daughter. I mean, they are inseparable. That is his best friend. And I know if I was to ever take her away from him, he wouldn't know what to do. But I would never do nothing like that to him or any of my children's fathers. And I'm just fortunate enough to, you know, have both of my kids' fathers in their life. Because, you know, some people ain't fortunate like that. And that's sad that a kid can't see both sides, you know, their mom and their father, you know. But I'm happy that both of my kids have their fathers in their life. I am getting fat. Look at, I got a double chin. Look at that. I don't know what's going on, but I know I lost a lot of weight after having Sunday. But that shit came all the way back. So, he is a wonderful father. Wonderful father. And I couldn't ask for nobody better. I really can't. He is Shania's soccer coach. That is Shania's best buddy. He does everything with her. Everything. And he know I work a lot. And you know we work things out. And we are very good at co-parenting with our daughter. Because like I said, he was with me for 4 years. And he was kind of bitter when I first moved. But, you know, he got over it. You know, like we do. We grow. We get over it. And he is doing his thing, working and taking care of his daughter. He don't ask me for nothing. And ladies, my thing is, if a man is taking care of their child, picking their kids up, spending time with their child, spending money on their child, ain't no reason for you to file for child support if they are doing all those things. If you are not working, if you're able to take care of your child without an extra income, on your own, I don't see the reason why some people file for child support when the father is basically there for their child. I don't understand that. So I'm just saying, if your baby daddy is doing for your child, don't file child support on him, especially if he's trying to do what he have to do, because I would never ever do that to anybody, especially if they're stepping up and they're doing what they're supposed to do. So let me change my battery because it's dying. Okay, I found a battery that is working. Okay, so I just traced my lips with Eggplant by Jordana. And I am going to use this color right here, which is from ColourPop. This is an ultra matte lip in the color Love Bug. So like I was saying, ain't no need for child support if both parents are doing what they need to do for the child. I would never put child support on a man that's doing what they need to do, even though the kids are our first priority, you know. And me as a mother, my kids come first before anyone until I'm married, and then, you know, I have to factor my husband inside the situation. But I'm not married, I'm single. So I just wanted to give you guys the story of my kid's father. Well, one story. I still have another story about Sunday's dad. That's a whole nother situation that I am going through to this day. Me and Shania's dad, we are real good parents to our daughter, and he understands the fact that I do work a lot. He also works, so he knows the situation, and we just do what we have to do for our child. I guess I want to add a blush. I'm gonna go ahead and use ooh, this is too dark. I'm gonna go ahead and use Raisin from MAC. And I don't know, I think we take care of our daughter really, really well. I throw functions and he don't like to come to them, but he's real family orientated. He's all about family. His family is really, really big. So like, I had no problems finding a babysitter for Shania. Sunday's a whole nother situation. But his family is so big and they love her to death, and that's about it. My daughter has a wonderful, wonderful father. Well, my daughters have wonderful, wonderful fathers. So I was fortunate to be able to have two, not just one, two. Okay, you guys, so this is the look. I hope you guys like it. I kind of got inspired by this look. I was watching Love and Hip Hop, and Tierra Marie had on a really nice eye, and it looked like this, but I think her bottom was turquoise, and I know I just did a turquoise eye, so I didn't want to do another one, so I'd use green, even though my cat eye ain't as sharp as I want it to be. But that is it, you guys. I hope you guys like this Chit Chat Get Ready With Me video. I know you love them, so my next Chit Chat Get Ready With Me video would either be about Sunday's dad or my relationship in between Shania's dad, that relationship. I don't know, I might talk about the relationship, I don't know, because I've only been in 3 relationships. So that is the look. I'm gonna go ahead and do a close-up, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. Don't forget to please rate, comment, and share. Don't forget to like this video and watch this chit chat get ready with me videos, because once I start getting views, I will delete the video. So I did delete the other videos just because I felt like I should, because I let you watch it, and the ones that watch it wanted to get to know me. So if you didn't watch them, I'm not going to re-upload them. Those was my personal stories, and the one that I shared them with, you are very special to me because you kind of know who I am. So these Get Ready With Me's is just the same, but you know, just real life situations. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in again. Don't forget to please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to check out my babies doing a review on BH Cosmetic brushes. I will leave that link down below, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Stay tuned for the close-up.